Alright, I'm doing a review on the Jensen VX7010. This is what it looks like, and it actually looks pretty ugly once you look at it because it really pops out quite a bit of the dash. So that's the first thing you'll notice, and the one thing that really looks bad. But the reason for that is because the screen has to pop up. If it was farther back, actually like this, it already hits the back of the console here, so you have to adjust the screen so it won't hit it. And then the trim has this little openings, and they go up. That's where the hinges are. So right now this is the main thing. It really looks ugly, but this is what happens when you turn on the key to accessory. It completely pops up by itself. I did the updates on the maps, and that alone took about 2 hours, if you can believe that. So make sure you have a good camera, not a camera, excuse me, a good connection to the internet and time to download, because that really took a while. And just in order to make the download, for some reason it wouldn't get past the screen where it would to upgrade it on my computer. He basically said, well, you have to turn everything off because it wasn't shut off properly or whatever. But once I canceled that, it went through okay. But that's just one weird thing I found. Now this is the main screen here, and right before the update, I'm gonna show you that it has a camera here, and basically the camera was plugged in. This is for the rear view camera, but I had plugged in the camera to my dash cam, and it was working. After I updated the software here, it no longer works. My camera signal from the dash cam is not working. The camera is on right now, and so you can see right there, it's blinking, so I know it's working. But when I tried it before the update, everything would come on here perfectly fine, so I could see the camera, what the camera is seeing. But now it doesn't work after the update. I don't know what it did. I mean, it's not like you plug it anywhere else. So if I try the AV2, which I know I didn't plug it into, you don't have anything there. That's an in, by the way, too. So the only one is the camera. I don't have a rear view camera, but I have a front dash camera, so I have that plugged in. The only thing I don't have plugged in is the cable that for the reverse to turn on the camera. So I don't know if that makes any difference now or what, but it didn't before. So I know that wire is so that it automatically comes on when you put it on reverse. So camera's plugged in, so it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter, but I mean, because I'm doing it manually, so I'm just clicking on all the cameras, so you can see that none of the cameras works now after the update. I mean, I can't find my camera anywhere, but I know it's not on that or that one. I know it should be here because that's what I tested right before it, and that's what I get for updating right away. I should have tested this a little more, but it took forever, so I just let it go. So anyway, getting back to this. So this is the main screen. You have your disc. I don't have a CD in there. You have your radio.
Ariana pretty well, and
Nikki
can be provocative, and Ariana is just this sweet, innocent young girl. Are you two corrupting her?
So it sounds kind of not great once I turn it up on this. The volume's kind of weird because when when I had what do you call it, the well, here you can mute it by pressing it. When I had it the GPS come on, the voice is very low, and then when it went back to radio it was very loud, so that's kind of weird. As far as the sound, it sounds okay. It's not too bad. I do still like the Sony a little better because I don't have to deal with that volume part, but maybe I'll figure that out a little later and how to make sure it works together. I do like the man. I do like the simplicity of the screens. This is the more options here. The AS is for autosave to so you can autosave all your stations, which is nice, especially on something like this. It's kind of weird trying to click on a screen or what it is, a station here when you're driving. So I just use the source button to scroll through the different through the different stations once you choose one. Let me see, not the source, excuse me, the buttons here. So I just go to the next one, but I'm not using this much, and even this is kind of a pain to use. I mean, because there's no actual button there. So I just use the buttons down here if I use the radio, but I didn't even like using that because it's just, I'd rather just use my USB. It's a lot easier and I don't have to deal with all this stuff or take my eyes off the screen. So that's what AS is. Then you have distance and local stations. I think distance just gives you a little farther stations. If I remember right, I did go over the manual. Then you got your band 1, FM2, 3, AM1, 2, and back to FM. Let me see here. The Q. The Q looks pretty cool. So that's a few options you get there. Your fader, the usual, like I did on the other video. So I'm not gonna go into all this stuff. Source, and then XM. You don't have anything. I don't have XM. My Bluetooth, it's plugged in. That's the, what do you call it? The model, and then you have your normal Bluetooth options. Not a lot, which is all you need. So that's cool. And then this is the scan to scan if you're trying to connect. And let's see, you get your USB. I don't have right now, and let me see here. That seems to be working fine. I just need more music because I thought it wasn't playing some files, but apparently I didn't have that many, so I have to look at that. It says it only plays MP3s. I'm not sure about MP4s, but I will have to try that because that sucks if you can't play any other files or type of files. I know it plays WMA. Let's see, I already went through that. Okay, navigation. That's annoying because you always have to press it. I just wish there was an option to turn it off. When you're, even I'm sitting there, I still gotta wait for that thing to go. I mean, I normally don't even use it when I'm driving, but it's having to press that on every GPS is just one very annoying thing. Now, before I go into the screen, one thing I noticed here on this screen, there's no back button to go to the main screen. So I go here, go back. I can't get back out. You got your other options here. And then this is just your updates, your fuel consumption. I haven't used that yet. Sun rays. Then it just shows you like around what time the sunrise and sunset is on your local area here. Country information if you want to know a little more about a country, the city, countryside, speed limits, I guess. And then the country code, emergency number. So that's kind of cool. But that's about all that does. Then you got your trip monitor, help, demo, about, and that was just that. Let's see here. That's pretty much it on that. Then you get your route options, create a route, destination, find address, so you get your normal options, find places. I like this here because it automatically pops this up, so I don't have to go type anything. If say you're somewhere in the boonies and you don't know where you are, you just want a gas station, you just click on gas station around here and it shows you what's around there. That's pretty nice. I like that because I used to do that with food basically, but now I can just hit it on there and then it automatically shows me what I got. I was testing this out yesterday. I had to type it in, but now today I just noticed that it had the options just right there. So I haven't used it much, but it's kind of nice that it's a quick buttons here. So that's pretty cool. And then of course your places, find a map, and then it goes to the map. This is kind of weird because even when I use the buttons here, it doesn't, and I go back, it goes back to whatever it was, so it doesn't stay on there. Another thing I found out, I like how you have the this information here where you're going north, south, east, especially on an old car where you don't have that. The problem with that is that once you have an address that you want to go to or whatever, it doesn't show up. It only shows up on the regular map when you're just driving, when you don't have a destination. So I thought that was kind of weird. This you can change it. The other option is just the speed limit here, and I like that. It's pretty nice that they have that. Let's see, the menu is the same one we were at. Okay, let me go back here. The reason I'm covering this is because this is the main the main reason I really got it. I wanted the GPS on here so I don't have to have an extra GPS. The thing I don't like about it is, you see the map, all you see is lines. That's all it is. Even a 3D map on here doesn't show me anything, even though the options are there. Whoops, where is it? If I can find it. So, oh, it's right here, map settings. So this is where you change it. So right now it's on 3D mode, but I don't see buildings or anything. If I go down, you can see the landmarks and buildings are on, but there's nothing. I see absolutely nothing. So if I change it to 2D, it kind of works better. And I was trying to figure out how to zoom in and out, and that's right here. If you click on that, it takes it out because everything was so close and all I could see was the line. But as you can see, it's still, all you see is this is fine because this is 2D. So that's just something to keep in mind, because this thing is annoying when you're driving and you don't see what you want. So now that it's in 2D, if you go down, see landmarks and buildings and everything is off. Of course, this is the update. I don't know if I did it before or not, but that kind of annoyed me a little bit because if you go on the map, this 2D, I usually now will use a 2D because I like the overview here, but if you touch the screen and you go to that, you change to 3D, that's your 3D. But see, even if I say zoom in and I go back, it goes back to wherever it was. So I guess that's okay, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is if you change it to 3D there, it won't change to 3D here, which is weird because you would think it would stay there unless I'm doing something wrong. And if I go more, that's just some other options there, so that's not what I want. But this is just to go down and back, information, whatever that info is. But I changed it 3D here and it doesn't change the map, so you have to really go all the way to the menu and then my more up. Nope, sorry, I keep messing this up. Whoops. So you have to keep going here and change it here if you want to get a 3D map all the time or whatever. There's no quick option here, which that's pretty annoying, to be honest. So that's that, and the fact that the 3D map doesn't show me like actual buildings or anything like that. That's what drove me nuts, because I was trying to see what was around there. I mean, yeah, you get some names, but and then this is the other annoyance, that you can't go back to the main screen from here unless you press the source button. So that's pretty annoying. And I guess if it works, it's okay. But oh, that's the other thing. When I was going down to the beach yesterday, I knew where I was going, but this thing kept trying to make me turn left, and for the longest time, and it wasn't until I almost got to the beach that it kind of stopped, and it kept let me go straight, or reroute it to go straight. So I'm not liking that too much on the GPS, because it doesn't, even if it recalculates like for the next couple of blocks, it'll still want you to go left at some point, and instead of recalculating or being smart enough to know that you're just going straight or you want to keep going straight. It's not like the other Magellan that recalculates towards where you're going, and it kind of stays on that route. Let's see what else. All right, the GPS, the satellites. That is one thing that actually works. And the reason for that is because you can see I got full satellites here. I guess this looks up to, not this, but there are up to 24 satellites that you can get tracking from. At least that's what the manual said. I don't know. But I got full satellites, which is nice, because my GPS is basically inside the dash. I didn't bother routing it outside or anything. I just put it on there on the metal bar, and I wasn't sure if it was gonna work. What do you call it? Because my car was facing, what was it, east, and this thing kept saying I was facing west. But after that, it seems okay, I guess. I haven't noticed that it's not working. It works under the dash, so you're fine. It picks up signals pretty good, and I got a couple of trees right now. I'm like next to a big building, so the satellite, it's pretty good. I have no problems with that. The time, you can synchronize it with the main menu. Let me go back here, which is, if I can find the options here. Nope. It's gonna be on the radio, I think it was. And more options. There we go. So this is your RDS for your naming and stuff for your music. You want that on. Where is it? This is clock time. That's what synchronizes the clock with the satellites, I believe, or your local time. And then there's one more, BTY, which was, I'm trying to remember the exact name. It has to do with the type of music, program type. There you go. And then that's